Good morning, everyone. This is our class 7th English. We are going to learn a second part of a chapter, A Gift of Chappal. Here you can see this is second part. Mridu crept up to the window. Lali was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bow string, her elbows jutting out and her eyes glazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of the music master. हियर आप देख सकते हो लाली है वो बैठी है विंडो के पास और वायलिन बजा रही है. यू कैन सी हियर इसके सामने हैं जो म्यूजिक मास्टर बैठे हुए हैं. बॉनी फिगर यानी हड्डियों का ढांचा है, वो बहुत दुर्बल हैं वे. ही हैड अ मोस्टली बाल्ड हेड विथ अ फ्रिंज ऑफ ऑयल्ड ब्लैक हेयर फॉलिंग अराउंड हिज ईयर्स एंड an old-fashioned tuft. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck, and a diamond ring glittered on his hand as it glided up and down the stem of the violin. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold-bordered vesty edge, and he was beating time on the floor with the scrawny big toe. He played a few notes. Lali stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hands. Here you can see this is music master, and she is Lali, or here all children are watching them. What a difference! The music master's notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails and whizzing along. As Ravi said, Mridu stared at that huge be-ringed hand moving effortlessly up the violin's stem, making lovely music. Squawk! There was Lali derailing again. Amma! Came a wail from the gate. Amma! Oh! Ravi, send that beggar away, cried his mother. His mother said that उस भिखारी को, beggar को भेज दो वापस. Ravi, sent that beggar away, cried his mother from the back veranda where she was chatting. She was chatting with Tapi. He has been coming here every day for the past week, and it's time he found another house to beg from. Pati explained to Tapi. Mridu and Meena followed Ravi out, and beggar was already in the garden, making himself quite at home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk, apparently prepared to take a little snooze while he waited for the arms to appear. Go away, said Ravi sternly. My Pati says it is time you found another house to beg from. The beggar opened his eyes very wide and gazed at each other of the children one by one. At each of the children one by one, the ladies of this house, he said, at least in a voice choked with feeling, are very kind souls. I have kept my body and soul together on their generosity for a whole week. I cannot believe that they would turn me away. He raised his voice, Amma, Amma, oh, sad his wail might be, but it certainly wasn't feeble. It began in a deep, strong rumble somewhere in his withered belly and came booming out of his mouth, with its few remaining teeth stained brown with beetle chewing. Ravi, tell him there is nothing left in the kitchen called Rukumani, and he is not to come again. Tell him that. She sounded fed up. Ravi didn't have to repeat it all to the beggar. What his mother said had been easy for them all to hear. There under them all to hear there under the neem tree. The beggar sat up and sighed. I will go, he said wearily. Only let me have a rest here under the tree. The sun is so hot, the tar has melted on the road. My feet are already blistered. He stretched out his feet to show large pink peeling blistered on the soles of his bare feet. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals. Mridu whispered to Meena Ravi. Have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? I don't know, said Ravi. Mine are too small to fit his feet, or I would have given them to him. And his feet were larger than Mridu's and Meena's. The beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road, gleaming in the afternoon heat. He needs something on his feet, Meena said, her big eyes feeling it's not fair. Shh, said Ravi. I am thinking about it. Blubbering, it's not fair. Isn't going to help. In 2 minutes, I will be frying his feet. In 2 minutes, he will be frying his feet on that road. What he needs is a pair of chappals. So, where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. He pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. Just as she stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the odd-looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. Ravi, she whispered to him, whose are those? Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby-looking but sturdy old slippers. He beamed and nodded. These are just the right size, he said, picking them up. Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. So here we can see that Mridu, Ravi are arranging chappals for that old beggar who is sitting under the neem tree. So thus this is second part, and last part we will learn in next lecture.